invite next presenter, Nilesh Singh, and let me give brief introduction of Nilesh. He has a degree in multimedia tech and design from Brunel University. Yeah, he's been working at Dice Holding Inc. as a web developer for the last 3.5 years. So, yeah, okay, over to you, Nilesh. So,
hello, hi. This is my first time talking, so please bear with me. I'll be reading through in my phone. I'm not checking text or anything. So yeah. So my name is Nilesh, and I work for Dice Holding. That's the Dice, and I don't work as a stripper, as you can see. I work as a UX and UI designer and developer. So when talking about UX design, whenever someone says design, everyone thinks about colors, lines, and making things pretty. But it is more than making things pretty. It is about designing users' experience. And it is mostly known as a user experience designer as well. It is about understanding people and their needs. And I basically make things that makes people happy to use. There are some arguments from the engineers, like Sanjit stressed. Can you exactly design the experience at all? Isn't it subjective to the people? But everyone has a good and bad experience with the things they use and they interact with. So experience is really critical. People remember their interaction. Whenever technology behaves in unexpected way, we become confused, frustrated, and even angry sometimes. Like, when we interact with product, we need to figure out how it works, discovering what it does, what operations. For example, doors. I'm sure everyone has got experience was standing in front of the door and thinking, shall I push it or pull it? Or shall I slide it to open? So it's so simple, but so frustrating at some times. The most important characteristics of the design is understanding. So whenever you have got when you have to push the door, why do we need big handles which invite people to pull? You can have just this simple plate on the door. So you can push it, not pull it. It's so simple, but it makes life so harder sometimes. Now let's talk about the mobiles. Everyone knows about the mobiles. And we have got back button in here, which is from my mobile, which is Nexus 6. Back button is so simple, but very effective. It lets you do certain things, like it gives you confidence to go and explore. Because whenever you have got back button, you can go around and make mistakes. That will bring you back again. You don't have to think about making mistakes. But on Samsung, you cannot see, there is back button, but you cannot see it. It's on the right side, where you can see it. Whenever you tap in, the light blinks. I need to know the back button when I don't tap on it. I need to see that there without tapping on it. After tapping in, I know where is the back button. What's the point of having that back button there? With the iPhone though, you don't have a back button at all. If you make a mistake, you have to go to the home screen. That is really frustrating at some points. And that's really simple things, but it makes really difficult. Another example is longest form. That's the longest. No one wants to fill up the form. And the form with this reset and continue next to each other. If I make a mistake and press a reset button here, I have to fill up the form again, which is really frustrating. And when this is really frustrating, this makes everyone angry. So what is good design? When the design is done right, everyone loves it. Everyone tweets about it. Everyone talks about it. And like this guy, he liked the one function of Gmail, which tells you if you have forgotten to attach a file when you send an email. It's so simple. Gmail is like big company, like it does lots of things, but he loves this actual feature because of the how it works for him. It saves so much people to get being fired as well, I guess. And about this one, I have got this experience as well. We were supposed to go to Edinburgh. Yeah. We were in bus, coach, going to Stansted. We're happy and everything. But looking at the phone, it says it was, and the flight is from Luton. How did I know? Because it told me that on my phone. It's really good user experience as well, because it saves me from making mistakes, like silly mistakes. We say silly mistakes, but it is really good. And technology is changing rapidly. And there is new application coming in, new phone coming in. There is new way to interact with the phones and then the application. So how do you do it? It's really hard sometimes. And every interaction technique requires experimentation and study before it gets fully integrated into any of these technology or application. It's about understanding people and their needs. It comes from observation. Most of the time, people even don't know what do they need. Like Henry Ford said, if I had asked people what they need, they would say, I would want faster horses. So most of the time we have to go with the users and interview them and sit with them and see how do they work and what are their needs. And on that basis we make their needs, and on that basis we iterate and iterate until and unless we get the right solutions for the problem they are trying to solve, and we try to make the product more usable and desirable. Thank you very much. That's all.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nilesh. Yeah, that was very nice and sweet one. Yeah, so I think we got some time now. So yeah, I can definitely take some time. Yeah, good one. Yeah. So any questions for Nilesh?
So so you talk about this back button in app which doesn't exist. So there should be some region for them, isn't it? They are also very smart people. Why it's not there?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like for example, even with the they are thinking about aesthetics, like lots about design, like the product design itself. Like for example, if you have seen, everyone was talking about this caps lock button in the Apple. They couldn't change it because they have got their structure, like how do they design itself, their product. They are more like product designer than the software designer. It's a bit annoying, and still they don't want to do it. I don't know why, but yeah, it's. And then the thing is, like, the funny thing was, like, everyone wanted the caps lock button, and then till like last release, there was a, like, every time you put a caps lock, it doesn't show the caps lock in your text. It's a simple thing, but it makes lots of frustration. It gives you lots of frustration, yeah. So I'm not so sure why don't they do it.
My son, do you like that phone? Do you like that thing here? Because he wants to buy for himself, and I do remember he used to say to my son, do you want that? I said, why do you want to buy yourself? So he will be very happy with your presentation.
Thank you.
Right, okay. Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.